Hey guys, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally doesn't work. Today, my daughter is in town. Come here, honey. Come here, come here. My wonderful daughter is here, and she said, "Dad, I miss home cooking." She said, "So can you cook a crab boil
With
now,
lobster.
with lobster?" Now,
Yeah.
now, truth be told, I don't normally do a whole lot of crab boil. We had a crab boil in L.A.
It was so good. Like they bring you a bucket of like everything you
Bucket?
have to
No.
pick
It was a
off.
bag. It was in a bag.
Well, like it comes in a bucket, but like you have to pick apart the crabs. You have to go ahead and break apart the whole
They had
lobster.
crayfish in there too. They had crayfish. They had one
Crawfish.
dungeon crawfish,
Mhm.
crawfish, crayfish. Okay, you say tomato, I say tomato, and let's call the whole thing off.
But we're gonna make it at home, and it's gonna be so much more flavorful and delicious and affordable.
Right. So here's actually the ingredients that I end up putting in here that we've already actually cut up, and I'm going to go ahead and get. I've got my outdoor cooker because it's seafood and everything else. We got the great weather and stuff outside, and we got a big ass pot to cook this in. So I'm actually going to get this going, and then after you see the ingredients stuff and us cutting it up, we're going to come back and cook.
So wait, are we gonna make it spicy? Do the people want it to be spicy?
It's going to be spicy. We chopped up some jalapeno peppers in there, and I'm also actually took a couple jalapeno peppers and just sliced them. Now, here's the thing: when you slice up jalapeno peppers, if you take out the membrane and you take out the seeds, you take out most of the heat.
Okay.
So that's why we're actually going to put two of them in there floating with those slots in there. That'll let that flavor kind of be released from the peppers.
But you guys can like adjust the heat level to whatever you want, and also you should let them know that you guys can add whatever vegetables like potatoes. What else are you
Well,
doing?
we're actually putting potatoes in it, the corns, of course, in there. We're actually using crab legs, Alaskan crab legs. We're using lobster claws and lobster tails, but you don't have to necessarily use those. You could actually use like bay crabs or Dungeness crabs instead, or you could do just crab legs, or you can just do shrimp, and we do have shrimp in this too.
And sausage.
And of course, gotta have sausage. I actually use 3 different kinds. I've got actually your regular, smoked sausage, and then I've got some jalapeno sausage, and then I've got some other Mexican chorizo. So everything is kind of a hodgepodge, and all this stuff's gonna marry together. But I do mine just a little bit different than everybody else, and we'll get started on that. Okay, so our recipe for this, we're gonna be using some sausage. I love Spanish chorizo, and I also love this jalapeno pepper sausage, as well as just some smoked sausage. You can use whatever type you have. There's some southern sausage that's really, really good. We have 6 ears of corn. We have a few pounds of some new red potatoes, wars. We get about 3 pounds of shrimp, 3 jalapenos, a couple of lemons, a couple of onions, a head of garlic. We have some crab legs, and we actually have some lobster claws and some lobster tails. Those are optional. You could actually replace those with crabs if you want, but we actually went to BJ's, and for about $20 you can get the crab claws, and about $25 you can get lobster tails. So this is a little bit of a step up. And of course, you're going to need a couple of bay leaves. I love my Creole seasoning, and you can get the crab boil in a bag, so you can just drop that right in there on top of it. So that's basically about everything you need, other than salt, pepper, and some hot sauce. Flame! We have fire! All right, so what traditional ones do is basically they'll go ahead and just take some water, put it in the pot, dump the onion into it, dump the sausage into it, just let that start boiling. But what I actually do is I actually put a little bit of olive oil in it, and I take the onions, and I put the onions in there and let those start sweating, and then I put the sausage in there as well. Because what happens is this, turn this down a little bit. What happens is the sausage and the onions and stuff will actually brown on the bottom of the pan, and it will intensify. It's kind of like when you make gravy, let me grab the onion. when you make gravy and you end up taking like the beef stuff that's in there, the beef drippings and things have got an intense flavor. And so that's what's going to happen here. So we're going to caramelize the onions. It's going to give them a much better taste. And then we're going to brown the sausage and then add about 12 cups of water along with the potatoes and the corn and let that stuff start cooking down. Now, the other thing you got to understand about seafood, especially shrimp. Shrimp is the last thing you want to put in because shrimp will literally get rubberized. So you want them to go in there, get nice in the shrimp color when they're cooked, the orangish color, and that's it. It's done. So that's the very last thing. The lobster tails, well, they take a little bit longer to go ahead and boil, so you want to put those in second to the last. Of course, same thing with crab legs. But the crab legs, the thing I love, and when I do gumbo and things, is I like to use crab legs as well, and get them in that the broth in there because it'll absorb a lot of it. It'll be inside of it, so all that flavor and all those juices and things get in there and just gets to be wonderful. Ooh. You see the onions in there are beginning to start sweating. Now let's grab the sausage and add to that as well. Now you can see all of our different sausages in here, different colors. But we cut those all into about, inch and a quarter size. So let's dump those in there and let that start cooking. Okay, so we've got our onions and our sausage. Let's take a quick peek here. You can see that stuff there. They've already kind of browned and caramelized. We're going to go ahead and actually take our jalapenos and our garlic and put in there just before we start adding the water. Now the thing about garlic is you want to put it in last because it'll burn real quick, so you can kind of control it. So now that I got that in there, I'm going to take about 4 of these cups of water. So it's 4 cups. We're going to put 4 of those. And we're also going to put a beer in as well. Turn this up a little bit now. Okay. All right, so we got that in there. Just need to get this beer opened up. Get the beer in. Then we're going to put in our potatoes, our corn, a couple of bay leaves. Get that boiling. Potatoes. Corn. Two jalapenos sliced. Actually,
don't eat me! Don't eat me! Ah! Ah!
I'm gonna put those in there. 2 of them.
Don't eat me!
And we're gonna put in these these lemons. They're as big as oranges. Must be on steroids. We're gonna put 2 of those in there. Okay. And we're going to put in 4 bay leaves. And then we have the magic. We're going to put in 2 bags of this crab boil seasoning in here. The nice thing is the flavor will get infused, but you don't get all of the pickling spice and everything else on the corn. Okay, and we're going to sprinkle in some Zatarain's. Zatarain's is great in almost everything. Some fresh grated pepper. Some fresh grated pepper. And then just a little bit of salt. Okay, and then we're going to get that boiling, and once the potatoes start getting tender, in about 20 minutes, we'll be able to go ahead and start adding in our seafood, so we'll finish this on out. So we're gonna put the top on this and let it cook. All right, so we've actually let this stuff boil. The potatoes and stuff are beginning to get soft, and we're gonna put our lobster tails in next because of course they're a lot thicker. They're gonna take a little longer to cook. So we're gonna put those in first, let those go for about 4 or 5 minutes. Then we're gonna put the lobster claws in because again, they have a lot of meat. Then we'll put the other crab legs in and then the shrimp. All right, we got the lobster tails going in. So now let's go ahead and get the lobster claws in there. Get going with it.
Now we have to add in the crab legs. Are these already cooked?
They're already cooked, so they only really need to just get warmed up. But be careful when you put them in that you don't splash the water on it. And also, we're gonna put in the shrimp.
The shrimp?
Yes, the shrimp. Look at all those shrimp.
With the skin? And
Yeah,
tails?
you're gonna peel those. And then we can stir it up and put the top on for just a couple more minutes. And then we're gonna just drain all of this. This is gonna be so good.
This is like insane. Like, this is a lot of food.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Look, oh, look at it.
You can't even stir it.
Yeah, that's where I was saying that we have a lot of crab legs and stuff. So we'll get some tongs in there and we'll work it up.
But guys, this is so easy to make. So I would recommend doing it. It's summer. Time to get lit, you know?
Time to get lit. Let's go ahead.
You know, this little thing doesn't do anything. Oh my god, what if my camera just falls in there? Could you imagine?
Well, they have some great shots until
No, right.
it died. You can look and see the lobster
How's the
tails.
tails
Okay, okay. All right, we're gonna put that in there.
Camera's ready.
We're gonna close the top. Got it. Let's take a look though real quick. Look at this.
How have you been? I haven't seen you
Ooh.
in maybe December when I was here for a minute.
Good.
Never
Very
here.
well.
Yeah?
Is that a thing of beauty or is that? It is done finally. So we turned it off. We're actually going to go ahead and pour some of the juice and save that to the side for people who want to dip it, like my daughter and things. But then we're going to strain the rest of it and then put it on a big platter, and it's just a free-for-all. Here we go.
I guess it is just water.
It is. It's just water with seasoning. Okay. Move that out of the way. That's our extra hot sauce. We're going to pour the rest of this in here very carefully that we don't burn ourselves. But it'll do in a pinch. I think we're going to need a bigger platter.
Are you?
Yeah. It's definitely warm. Can you grab me the tongs? Lobster tails.
Should we leave the rest in there until we're ready?
There we go. Yo!
Lit.
Hate is gonna hate. I'm Mark Holmes, and thank you as always for watching the Jobu Sports Report. And if you want to see how this is done, I'll have a video up on how to cooking with Jobu, exactly how we made this. Oh boy, I can't wait to dig in.